Welcome to Fat Cat production of News with a View. Your host, John A. Costa, and
Alice Incognito.
Yeah,
I
she's
showed up
here.
for work.
Yeah, really.
And I shall drink to that. Thank you.
This will be episode 29. We're not going live. I was going to do live, but, I'm a very lazy man. I didn't want to set everything up. So this is going to go out in the morning when I edit it. And so it's episode 29. In the news today, some biggies. As I went over this morning, DNC committee, David Hogg. What a waste. Good luck. You Democrats deserve everything you're going to get. And there's not going to be any silver lining here with that guy. He's a nut. Here we have the president fighting with our allies about fentanyl. And this guy says, everyone, drugs, all drugs should be legal. That's the stance that your Democratic committee co-chair has taken.
You see how well that worked out for California and
anywhere else.
Portland, Oregon, and,
The Democrats have learned nothing from your defeat. Nothing. And listen, you have a winner, you have a loser. I get that. But you've learned nothing. You Democrats elected Donald Trump. Just remember that. Remember that. Okay, we're going to get off topic here. I covered that already. I scolded America already. And my brain, that's going a million miles an hour. I'm trying to slow it down to 55, mostly for you, Bob, in New York. Because I know you need help.
you want to talk about
keeping men out of women's sports.
Presidential actions, February 5th, 2025. Yep. So
Executive order.
yes.
No more transgender cross-pollinating sports. You're a man, you're on a man team.
Policy and purpose. In recent years, many educational institutions and athletic associations have allowed men to compete in women's sports. This is demeaning, unfair, and dangerous to women and girls, and denies women and girls the equal opportunity to participate and excel in competitive sports. I can't argue that should never have been.
Was one of
I guess
the
it kind of started with co-ed.
Co-ed, there was an understanding that there were rules with co-ed.
Yeah, and then, but I mean, that's kind of how it kind of gradually started.
You're 15 years old. You're very, very happy to play with and see other 15-year-olds run around and girls.
But you know what? As a child who played sports, I never liked co-ed. I didn't like that at all.
Yes, I mean it's silly. It's the same thing. Everyone gets an award. I mean,
well, that's yes.
Yeah, everyone gets everyone.
So no offense, but Sloppy Sally, who was lazy and didn't play well, yeah, we had to be inclusive and let her on and play on there. But we knew damn well she sucked. But
see, now you're just mean. That's just mean.
No, and that's truth. And but then you had lazy Bobby, and even on the guy's side, but. No one wanted lazy Bobby, so he sat on the bench most of the time. But then these parents got upset because they wanted their kids to participate more. But it was more, your kid didn't want to do it.
Yeah, right.
That's the thing. So you had these parents who were pushing the kid to play these and be involved in these sports when they really just didn't have a desire to want to play.
Well,
but then you force them, and then it didn't go the way you as a parent didn't go away. They wanted to see it happen out on the field. So you said, "Oh, co-ed, everyone plays together." And
there is room for co-ed. If you want to call bowling a sport.
Soft Bobby, who wasn't as aggressive as the other boys then.
But
and the same thing with again, Soft Sally, who is shy, timid, and quiet.
Ping pong. You could do co-ed with that type of thing. Yeah, but
Okay,
archery,
well,
you're shooting at a target, a rifle. Those
why?
things you
But
could
why?
do.
I just don't. Why do you
Because
have to have co-ed?
no, because
Let
you
everyone
could.
have their own.
Oh,
I know,
but
I,
you could. No, my male dominance, me. Only thing I dominate is a donut.
No.
But the thing is that I couldn't overpower a woman in sports when I was 18 years old. I mean, yeah, I'd crush her. Though there were some girls that, but neither way, girls are girls, boys are boys.
and I just don't agree. I don't
So-
believe there ever should have been co-ed. Period. There was no reason for it.
Back in my day,
Well, no, our bodies are designed differently. There's just no need for it. There's no need for it.
what?
Right, there's two genders. Remember that now, people. Two genders. And I don't believe in co-ed. I just don't think so. Even in your archery and your ping pong, there's no reason.
That's going to be big news tomorrow. That's going to be all over.
It's great news.
Yes, I mean it's
Great news.
God. All I want is common sense. Common sense. And again, folks, I say this all the time. My common sense might not be your common sense, but when you add facts to it, it becomes really clear what is common sense. Now, the other big news. Would you be buying real estate right now in Gaza? I mean,
I was. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't feeling good. I was in my bed watching the news, and and I watched, the meeting,
Yes.
and then the press conference afterwards. Well, both, addressed the media and answered questions.
I have.
And I just thought, like,
Okay.
the way, the way Trump was just, answering them and talking about, Gaza and, obviously, wanting to, become a U.S. territory and protected by the U.S. But I was laughing because, as a real estate, investor that he is, I thought, oh gosh, like, 'cause it's all in ruin, and we know that. No. And here's the thing: nobody should live in those conditions. Period. So yeah, they deserve.
Okay.
Everyone deserves better.
Now I want you to stop for a second when you say that. After World War II, we did not start rebuilding Germany and stuff until the Marshall Plan. Until we decided to that things quieted down. It was like 1948. Let me tell you.
But there was a plan, the Marshall Plan.
Yeah,
So
but those
yes.
people for 3 years lived in carved out basements. So when people go, oh, we've never heard of such a thing. Yeah, we did that. We did that in Germany. We did that in Japan. They
Right.
did that in Russia. They did it. And they lived. And they're prosperous
That
today.
was history, and I think we've learned from that. So I think that the action is being taken to address
yes.
it as soon as possible. So I don't know.
It's going to take 10 years to do that. But in the meantime, if you call Century 21 in Gaza. Now, I have a spot picked out between Infidel Boulevard and Martyr Road. It's beautiful.
I'm looking at Heathen Lane. But no, I mean, the way I was giggling, laughing, and going, oh my God, like the way he was making it sound like this is it. People are going to build their beautiful homes, right there, oceanfront property. It's Gazaland.
Yeah, Disney.
Welcome to Gazaland.
Muslim land.
Muslim land, Gazaland. I was
I
laughing.
want to ride the Infidel Flume ride. Yay!
Everyone gets a Jesus balloon. Our Jesus balloon. And if you lose it, it goes right to the heavens, and it'll be waiting there when you get there.
Jesus, David, and Muhammad all with their arms around. It's like Pep Boys, Mo, Manny, and whatever.
gosh.
That's what it's going to look like.
I mean, I could only hope that something can come of that, where everyone can exist together in that
Yeah, that ain't
in
going
that
to happen.
territory, and it's peaceful and
First,
yeah.
the Gazans don't own Gaza. That's part of Egypt. So Egypt would have to say, yeah, America, yeah, it's all yours.
Put it on the table. It's up for discussion. Put it on the table.
No.
Listen, I mean, at
It's
this point,
a terrible idea.
Listen, we tried
Terrible.
everything. So what?
It's a
at
terrible
this point?
idea. Terrible idea.
Well, we'll see what happens.
I mean, oh, it'd be beautiful.
Just see the ads now, prime property in Gaza, Gazaland. Like I could just, yeah.
Come, my friends, see the beautiful apartments.
I just exactly
Yeah,
the building. I mean, will it be like a Dubai?
Yeah.
What will it be like? But
Yeah,
it's got to be peaceful first. We have to achieve.
Yeah,
peace.
it hasn't been peaceful anytime.
I know, but that doesn't mean you can't hold out hope that there could be peace.
Good Lord, I'd say.
Well said.
Even Jesus is going, what? What are you doing? What, did I hear that right?
Anyway, so that we got that going. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. It's 2025. Anything's possible.
Well, I guess, but you know what?
And,
that is just so off the wall. I think I even think.
Well, that's why we're making fun of it.
Yeah.
It is so off the wall.
I think
I mean,
even
I'm going to throw out my funny,
I think even Netanyahu was like,
probably
what?
not so humorous to some people.
Yeah.
But I whatever. I'm laughing at my own jokes. You don't have to laugh with me.
Yeah,
You
but
can
I'm
laugh
just
at
saying,
me. I
yeah.
don't care.
But it's just, I mean, how would you even sell that to Congress? I mean, we're fighting to buy what, Greenland and then,
The Gulf of America.
Yeah, the Gulf of America. I mean,
It's wild. It's just we're just spitballing here.
Really.
We're spitballing ideas out. That's it.
Hey, call the deal leader.
Hey, that's called-
I still want those apartments.
That's
What condos I could have?
It's the business side of him.
I mean, but it's the craziness. Can we solve our problems first, and then we'll go over there and try to figure it out? I mean, I have no problem.
Gazaland Vacation 2027.
And here's the harsh, true reality of this situation. No one wants the Palestinians. They were thrown out of Jordan by the king because they caused so much trouble over there that they couldn't take them. Egypt, absolutely not. Saudi Arabia is like, these people are like a cancer. And no one wants them because they are a pain in the ass. They're nomadic. They used to be, roam all around. Nomads. Those were the sand people on Star Wars walking around. That's what they were. And now you're trying to. You think they're going to stay in Gaza? You think that's going to happen? You think they're going to stay there? No. So this is a problem that is there is no solution because you will not make them happy. They will never be happy, ever. You could push Israel out of there.
Well, Trump did say that he would. There's land to be given. You've got. I mean, could they go there? Could you? Here,
no one wants them.
There.
No one wants them.
There's a
they
place.
are
There's
trouble.
a place for them. I
Yeah,
don't think
it's called Over the Rainbow. So that's not going to happen. These people cannot be satisfied. Most of them are as zealous as the other side. So I don't see that happening.
Holy Land.
Who's Holy Land?
I meant Holy Land. Holy Land in Florida. And immediately my mind went to Holy Land in Florida that closed down for many.
Too soon.
For many, it's.
Well, I just don't see.
Could the ideas bring people together?
No, they can't. Religion divides people. They're not putting anyone together by creating a Gaza land or Holy Land because it's whose? Christian? Jesus land? David land? Muhammad land? Who?
All people's land.
No, you can't because every religion says no, you can't.
I'm giving you the liberal side of you. It could be everyone's land.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Think about the children.
Seaside, oceanfront view.
No. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. You can give them everything. They had stuff, and what did they do? They built tunnels. They built tunnels to attack people. Instead of giving their people water, farmland, industry, that's what they did. And that's the mentality you're dealing with. And yeah, we wiped, well, not we, but we helped, wiped a lot of those people out. They breed like flies, folks. And that's not being mean, and that's not being racist. I'm just telling you. Why do you think they have 13 kids in a family? It's a whole different world. We try to spin our values into an idea for them that they reject. They reject our values. They reject our government. And really, and when you think about it, would we accept their values and government over here? Of course not. We wouldn't. So we gotta start looking at this from other people's eyeballs. And Israel wants peace. Israel wants peace. They don't want to be fighting. Now Syria is going through a change now where they have said we don't want to fight with anyone. We don't want to fight with our neighbors. We're done. We're done with all this fighting. We want to live with Israel. We want to live with Iran. We want to live with Turkey. Enough with this fighting. So that might be an interesting development going on over there that could have roots. But until you get rid of the people in Hamas and Hezbollah, nope. Of course, yesterday, too, Trump said that if any assassination attempt, successful or not, by an Iranian-backed assassin, he will obliterate Iran. All right, well, I can understand that. And I think if an Iranian sat there and shot our president, it wouldn't be too hard for us to get there. But, do you punish the people that had nothing to do with that? That won't even know who the hell Trump was. They're still burning Jimmy Carter's pictures. But Trump did hold.
Is this the restoring of maximum pressure of Iran?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But Trump has held an olive branch out to them to say, hey, I want to see a prosperous Iran. I want to see a great Iran. But without nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
I got a problem with that, too. Because would we accept a country telling us we can't have SpaceX technology? That we can't have that. We tell them no. No, you don't want it. So.
No, I think that because they've, decades of
because they've said they would use it
right.
to destruct.
They are war torn.
Yeah.
They
but yes.
Extremists.
Yeah. Well,
and
life
yes,
life to them isn't life to us.
Right. They're not in control. I'm sorry.
So
you can't compare the United States and say that because we are in control. We're not.
Well.
Wild and.
All right.
Threatening to take everyone out.
Well, you say
Who
that.
Isn't like them.
You say that. Who did we drop 2 atomic bombs on?
Well, once it.
Yep. So don't say it can't be done, and it can't be done by people
why was it done?
Of good conscience.
But why was it done?
Because it was done because they wouldn't surrender, and it was war. And I get that, but to them, they could have that same ideology. So.
Yeah, but they're known. They're known.
Well. I know, but I just, when you get down to it, we have the bigger stick. So we could be the proverbial bully in the yard. My way or a knuckle sandwich.
Well,
so
don't you think we have to be? I mean, you can't just lay down
Yes.
and accept things. So yeah, so sometimes we
Yes.
have to be the bully
But yeah, you have
in
to be
order
the
to get
bully.
things done, in order to show our strength and not our weaknesses.
Again, you're
And
only as
control.
strong
It's
as you
showing
are that
control.
day.
It's also showing control.
Well, yes. Yes. We could have decided to build 20 atomic bombs, taken over Russia, taken over the world. We could have. We had that power. And we showed the world that's not what we were here for. Mission accomplished. We were done. And though we had political leaders like MacArthur and Patton, who thought we should wipe them out now when we have the chance. So you always have that element, even in our, we're a nation of conscience. You had people in power that can do things. Just saying. It's not all black and white. There's a lot of gray in there. All right. What else is going on from the White House today?
That's yesterday's news.
This is why I have to do everything.
That's it. Today was keeping men out of women's sports. That was the big one today.
Oh.
Yeah, don't you think we had a whirlwind of a week? Just throwing stuff at us.
Yeah,
I couldn't
really.
keep up as fast as he was throwing stuff out. I couldn't keep up.
Yeah, well, everything was changing. I said today, I had 3 things on my thing that I've already wrote up, and I had to take them off because they were already in flux. And I couldn't answer that. America is back, baby.
I love it. Let's see what their news is. That's it.
Yeah.
You talked yesterday withdrawing of the United States
Well,
from an ending funding to certain United Nations.
Pam Bundy is now the Attorney General.
Yes.
And that should be good. Like I said, wouldn't have been my first choice. Wouldn't have been my first choice. But I understand why he's keeping Ted Cruz off to the side. Ted Cruz is going to be a Supreme Court judge when a judgeship opens up. And I can't wait. Because he's crazy smart.
Mm-hmm.
He's crazy smart. And
Bundy.
what's that?
No, I was just reading some of the articles about who.
Oh, well, Radcliffe is in there. They're all
Yeah.
in there. They're all in there. Bassett, or head of the Treasury.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah, she's going to be in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, just good little bio on them.
Everyone's getting in, folks. Everyone's
I
getting in.
don't see that as a problem.
No. There were 3 people on that list that I had that I said were, and 2 of them got through. And I did not think that Bobby Kennedy would get into as much flack as he got into. I knew he would be because of his stance that he has taken against the government. I mean, this is a guy that fought not only Republicans, but he fought Democrats. He's a lawyer. He went after the government. And he knew how hard it was to get information that should be available to every citizen. So he's going to be a force to be dealt with there. I've had the pleasure of speaking with him when he announced his candidacy. She knows I'm doing a show, and she turned the printer off.
I was just wondering. I was like, "What is going on over there?" I'm like, you guys still printing that stuff from
Yeah.
before?
She's and it's not one page, folk. It's like they're cutting trees down and bringing pulp into my house right now.
She forgot.
Yeah, and the thing with Kennedy is that he will bring a transparency. Kash Patel, they're really giving him a run for money. I did not think he'd have as heart of a problem. I knew he was going to get questioned, but they're beating him up pretty good.
Yeah, they really are.
That's because that's the key. These 3 or 4 people, you got, of course, the Attorney General, then you have Patel, now you have Radcliffe, and you have Voight now of the Budget and Management, Office of Budget and Management. Those are the keys to the kingdom, folks. And the stuff that's going to be coming out, I'm telling you, you're going to have Republicans running for, get out of the light, and you're going to have Democrats running. And I would say it's a 50-50 mix. You look at the Democrats that have been real quiet and the Republicans that have been real quiet. And there's a reason why. Yeah. Hear much from Lindsey Graham lately?
Oh, it's funny. I just got a text from him.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I started on.
Why, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Yeah. Send
he
money.
texted me. Yeah.
Send money.
Important stuff.
Yeah.
I did not know that Mitch McConnell took a fall.
Yes, he took a fall
while exiting the Senate chamber.
Is he okay?
The HUD secretary vote. What does the New York Post say about him? McConnell is fine after falling twice on Capitol Hill, forcing him to use a wheelchair. Yeah, he's fine.
He's 82 years old.
He's 82 years old, exactly.
I mean, yeah, they're old.
They said that the lingering effects of polio in his left leg will not disrupt his regular schedule of work.
Well, like I said, I went to school with kids whose brothers and sisters had polio. So, we're old.
Yes. That's some news right there. I don't know if that's really news, but,
I didn't know he had polio, but...
Now everyone does.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, that seems to be a hot topic for some bizarre reason. But what have we had going on? Shooting. Suspect arrested in the fatal shooting at a cosmetic warehouse in Ohio, officials say.
Yeah, well, the shootings every day. You're not hearing about it. You look in Sweden. Guy shot 10 people.
Bruce Foster ID'd as suspected targeting shooting at the Ohio cosmetic warehouse.
Well, listen, you always have disgruntled employees.
It's in the news. Something.
The NTSB now investigating the crash in. We know as much as we're going to know on the black boxes out of the DC crashes, and I'm pretty certain. And I said that from day one, that it was an altimeter problem with the helicopter, either that wasn't set right, or they just weren't paying attention to it. And in the terminal control area, and mostly in that one, I know like at JFK, terminal control area, you were allowed to enter it with permission, but you had to be 500 feet. That's as high as you could be, 500 feet. And I don't know, 3/4 of a mile out there. I forget. But you just weren't allowed in that area. You just couldn't say, I'm going to be 400 feet and slip underneath it. Yeah, you get in a lot of trouble. You're going into a Class A space. And but here they were under ATC control. The problem is that ATC, air traffic control, can only know the altitude being registered from the aircraft. So if the aircraft had his altimeter set wrong, and it said 200 feet, but it was really 300 feet, they wouldn't pick that up. There's no way that type of radar is going to pick that up. They have radars that will do an X and a Y, and they'll know how high you are, but not there. And The plane's position was out of place from where they said they should be, and they kept telling them, hey, now, would the pilots of the American Airlines would have heard that conversation? Because remember, there are two different frequencies, military and civilian. Would the pilots been privy to that? They might have said, hey, these guys don't see us. We're going to break, we're going to do an immediate climb and get out of here. And just vector us out, and we'll shoot the approach again. But they didn't. And maybe if they would have abandoned the approach and elected to do, a misapproach.
More to come.
The problem is, in that 10 seconds, all the training in the world, everything. Now, the helicopter pilot, I'm going to say, at the end of the day, it's going to be pilot error. I don't know what was going on in there. I don't know their procedures. I know what the procedures are for a private pilot, and I have read what the procedures are flying IFR, which I was never rated for. But you read it and you say, oh yeah, I'm not going to do that. If there's more than 3 clouds in the sky, I'm not flying that day. So it's hard to say. Now, the one in Philadelphia, I was amazed they even found the black box. Looks like an accordion. And again, since that plane was not registered in the United States, I haven't even seen the tail number. I haven't even bothered to look.
Yeah.
I haven't even bothered to look, because you could go by the tail number of an airplane and pull, like on any American registered aircraft, and pull up everything the FAA has about that aircraft. And then if you know the pilot, you could pull everything up on the pilot and find out everything on that pilot. So even in the civilian world, you could find that information out. But for a pilot, that's all FAA logged information. And
A Japan airline plane clips tail of Delta plane at Seattle Tacoma Airport.
yeah, chopped the, yeah. Oh, so sorry. So sorry.
Hello?
Oh, whoopsie.
Hello?
Now, that's a pushback problem. The pilot doesn't like me put the car in reverse, and and backs out. They have what's called pushback. You see those big things that push the airplanes out. So someone didn't do something right. Either one plane, the Delta plane, was out too far, or the aircraft that they were pushing out was in its wrong spot for its type of aircraft with the wingspan, because they know all that. These, they do that. That's what they do. So it will be interesting to see what happened, Okay.
Washington sends first group of Indian migrants with U.S. military plane to home country.
Yes. We're sending everyone. This is not just Mexicans or South Americans or...
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that,
This is everyone. Everyone is getting their turn
we
here.
all think, it's just of a certain culture.
Yeah. So, I mean...
Landed in India early Wednesday morning as part of President Donald Trump's immigration agenda. The U.S. Transportation Command official confirmed to Fox.
Yeah, they're sending...
Sent them back.
Yep. And
Many more.
which is fine, as long as the procedure is being done even-handedly. Like I said, I don't mind the scales of justice, but I do mind if you put your thumb on the scale. Don't put your thumb on the scale. That's all I'm asking. There'll be a lot of news coming out on the economics of closing USAID. in a lot of these countries. Now, I had no idea they had a staff of 10,000. A staff of 10,000. We were paying 10,000 people. Now, this might have been all over the world, but we were paying for all that. Before anyone got a dime, we paid these people. So, where was like UNICEF? Where were the people in between that? Yeah, I don't need that. This is a group that I'm going to give it to. They're going to hand the food out. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. Why do I need anyone over there other than a person to say, yeah, you get this much, you get that much, and, you know, what's going on here? And I'll tell you what was going on here. It was a pay to play. And when they start going looking through these kickback schemes, you know, and you have some government people going, their budget was less than 1% of the U.S. what we spend. I don't care. You're talking $8 trillion. How about we get fire insurance for the people in California?
It's Carolina.
Yeah. How about we rebuild Carolina?
Yeah, how about you build North Carolina?
Huh? Can we do that? Can we spend the money there? Because I'd rather see 10,000 people hired here to run over there and help them than, you know, some village in Africa got, you know, I don't know, a couple of $1 million for a transgender dance thing, where I'm sure after they performed the dance for the tribe, the freaking tribe ate them.
Stop! It was a transgender musical.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
play.
yeah. I mean, you know.
Please get it right.
Yeah. And I'm sure they were eating afterwards. You know.
No.
Oh, how'd you find the dance? Delicious.
Yes.
You know, so
it's insane that
Yeah.
the money that was being funded for
and
these programs.
And this was just not Democrats.
But
folks.
you honestly think that happened? That's where it was the kickback. Whose pockets got fat?
Everyone.
Whose pockets got fat? Because you know who was putting that together.
Yeah. Everyone. Money.
DEI in Serbia? Seriously?
Yeah. Go.
Come on.
Yes, we sent 1,000 rainbow flags to Gaza.
You know, condoms.
Yeah.
Yeah, condoms? Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Just absurd. It's absurd. But that's the thing. Did these things really happen? What I want to see is these things were said. So these things were said in black and white that, you know, money was being spent. But did this actually happen?
Okay.
Or did it not, and someone pocketed all that money?
Do you know what that's called? Because
you know.
Elizabeth Warren seems to have a problem with accountability.
Oh no. Don't hold me accountable.
She calls that meddling.
Oh, I'm sorry. I call that full transparency under the taxpayer's dollar. I'd like to know where every dime is being spent, because you want to know why the government, our IRS, wants to know what I spend my money on all the time. You tax me, I have to file.
Ixnay on the IRS.
Sorry. It's not a one-way street. It's a two-way street. And if I got to open my books, you got to open your books.
Well.
And full transparency. Don't. What they?
We can see, this is what's going to happen. And America's going to see, and there's no hiding it. This is why the panic. Mm-hmm. This is the panic.
That just shows me someone who's very guilty. What are you guilty about? What are you afraid? What are you so afraid of?
What are you afraid
of?
And I'm not one of these. And here, let me make this perfectly clear. And I said this in today's podcast earlier. I'm not a person who feels that, well, if you have nothing to hide, what are you worried about? No. It's when it comes to the individual, yes. I have the right to plead the fifth. Mm-hmm. I have the right to exercise my fourth. So that is different than the transparency of the government,
right,
who has no rights like that to do that.
Right.
You know, you could have your secret agencies that,
Again.
You're going to, we know the CIA isn't going to say, we gave X amount of dollars over here. I get that. Okay, I'm fine with dark money. USAID is not USAID is not dark money. FEMA is not dark money. None of that stuff is dark money. And I'm okay with dark money. But don't tell me, and here's the thing, folks. Even if they just find one case of malfeasance, because that's what it's called, then they found a problem. Now, if they don't find any problem, then you guys on the other side have every right to go, we told you. We would have shown you. You didn't have to break the locks off the door to do it. Then, you know what? I got to sit there and be schooled. I guarantee you I will not be schooled. I guarantee it.
Well, where is it publicly made known of what they've spent their funds on?
The director said the other day, who resigned that day, he was the temporary guy, so I can understand it, that many people don't understand what we do here.
Humanitarian aid, and maybe some other projects that fall under that. I'm not sure how.
And again, it was not
a transgender musical is a humanitarian aid.
Okay, well, okay, but here's my thing. Even with where I had my problem with Musk, where he came in, he goes, "These people never rejected anything. They just paid. If it came through, they paid it. Their job might not have been to reject it. Their job was to pay that bill. It comes through, pay the bill. Congress approved it. That guy approved it. All I'm doing is keying in the information and sending the check out that way. I don't have a say. I don't get to critique the gun. Go, what the hell? You don't. That's not your job to do. So, if it was their job to do, and I don't know if that's the case,
that,
right?
You're right. You don't know that.
Sign the check. If it was their job to go, hold it. This says it's going to a tennis foundation in Bosnia, and that money's going halfway around the world the other way.
But I think that's why it needs to be uncovered. We need to see where these funds were going, and if
why am I hearing music?
You're hearing music because Mr. Softy is making a round.
Damn microphone picks up everything. We're going.
Well, I don't know if that's Mr. Yeah, that is Mr. Softy. Oh, he stopped out front. I think someone must have ran out. Mom, did your mom go?
If I see my wife come through here with like a banana barge, I'm hitting pause, and I'm going to go nuts.
Banana barge, John.
Yeah, you know what a banana barge through Mr. Softy would cost now?
I don't even know. I don't even
really
want to know.
I need Trump to look that up.
It's $12, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, but the money that's flowing out the door and going to these things. Now, let's put everything aside over here. What do you think it would cost us to rebuild Gaza? Even with private, even if Trump goes, I'm going to have private companies come in, they're going to bid on that. Well, what happened to people?
Hamas has already, turned down the offer and told them no. Basically, that would never happen.
Yeah, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. Come on.
So much for Gazaland.
Come on.
It was a dream.
Do you know the hotel?
It was a Trump dream.
Do you know the hotel I could have built in Auschwitz?
Oh, Dad.
Well, it's the same thing.
No.
It's the same. The Auschwitz Hilton.
No, Dad.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
No.
The difference is you're not forced to stay here. You know?
Well, yeah, there's a big difference.
When your stay is over, you get to go. But that's the same thing. That is the same logic. That's how I look at it. I go, yeah, no, you just don't go. You don't go down that road. There was that conversation should never have come up. It's very and you know what it is?
I think it's more of the rebuild. I mean, it's more of taking, again, something that's so out of control and figuring out how to try to get it under control.
But he goes, we'll permanently relocate them. Well, then
to where they want to go. Do you think that
No.
That's the thing.
What happened if they want to go to
wanna
Gaza?
live there?
No, but
A majority of them probably don't, but they don't have an alternative
you,
to go
you wanna,
somewhere else.
Do you know what we used to call that? What Trump is talking about?
No, what did they call it?
Annexation. That was called annexation. That was a very polite, comfy word to go, I'm taking your land from you, and there ain't crap you can do about it. Do you know who did that?
No.
It was called Hitler in the Sudetenland. And everyone has a right to use that as a reference because it's fact. And you can't argue the facts.
Okay.
So, you can't, just the idea of that in people in my age and brainhead, it is so distasteful. And this is the problem when people don't recognize history. It is distasteful. And it's wrong.
But he's not taking, like, no one's doing that. No one's taking anything right now because no one knows how to.
I know it's not, but just
no one knows how to
the
fix
problem is
and come up with a solution.
Once it left the lips, it becomes more palatable the second time or the third time it's said. And now you're used to hearing it. And now it doesn't sound as bad as the first time. Yeah. Now, I said on this podcast, I will call out what I say is wrong. My podcast, wrong. Donald Trump, find another solution, not the final solution. So, there you go. Enough with that. And I beat up the Republicans today pretty good, as I did the Democrats. And if I didn't have such crazy relatives, I would have ran for president.
Frightening.
But
no, see, I would never. I wouldn't do what Biden's family did. I would have made sure he never hit the stage because I would have been like, he's out of his mind. He can't go up there. Nope, he cannot talk. Nope, come back, old man. This way, old man. This way.
I got a cinnamon bun.
Chase him with food.
It doesn't take much, folks. I'm going to tell you that right now. It doesn't take much. Yeah. Ask anyone who knows me.
Food.
Mozzarella.
I can be convinced.
What were we talking about? What do I sign?
Convinced with some food. Let's see. Against dismissing Trump's Gaza proposal. Let's see, that's not just the one right there.
Yeah, I'm just. People make me nuts. And if
I am going to botch this. Hungary's foreign minister, Peter.
Yeah, who knows?
Just going to botch your last names. Peter S.
Compared the Gaza proposal.
Well, he urges the world to not doubt Trump's shockingly innovative Middle East proposal. So this is United Nations, says the President Donald Trump's suggestion that the U.S. takes over the Gaza Strip.
Yeah, that was in
has
2020.
garnered
He did
negative
that.
reactions.
He said that in 2020. This is nothing new. But he was already out of office, so. Yeah. Yeah.
He said he will take over Gaza Strip, rebuild it to stabilize Middle East.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think it's going to stabilize. Well, I guess we shall see, but... No, the Congress will never approve it.
You know.
Congress will never approve it, so it won't matter. Until he outlaws Congress. I just hope they have better military uniforms. I like snazzy military uniforms.
Yes. Meltdowns over cuts to DEI.
Yeah.
Some Democrats having meltdowns.
Well, the best meltdown I've seen so far was Senator Whitehouse from Rhode Island. I mean, that guy's nuts. Absolutely nuts. You know. It wasn't even making sense.
Confirmed by the Senate on Tuesday. Pam Bondi.
Yeah.
Hit the ground running. She's gonna.
Yeah, the Attorney General.
Several major directives on her first day.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
The Justice Department, including orders to combat the weaponization of the legal system, make prosecutors seek the death penalty when appropriate, and work with the Department of Homeland Security to completely eliminate cartels and transnational criminal organizations. This is from Fox News.
Well,
No?
it could be a lot there going on, too. So, I think that the government has been weaponized. It has been since J. Edgar Hoover. The FBI has been weaponized since J. Edgar Hoover. So, but we never went after people like the president. It just didn't happen that way.
Yeah, well.
Where they got weaponized with Hoover would be when they would catch a senator or a congressman or a bigwig, a big fish, and they'd sit down with them and they'd go, I want you to read this report. We'll leave you in here for a minute.
Yeah.
You might want to really start at page 23.
Bondi is set to establish the weaponization working group, which will review the activities of all law enforcement agencies over the past 4 years to identify instances of politicized justice.
Yeah.
And rightfully so.
Yep. And again,
the American people did want. So
the 5,000 people that worked on January 6th is not going to be a problem. Because a lot of them just did, interviews. That's it. Here's what they said. Boom, boom. You take it from there. It's going to be a dozen, maybe 2 dozen who weaponized it. And
yeah,
that's a problem.
we'll find out.
That's a problem. Did Jack Smith weaponize? I would say not. I think he did everything that he was allowed to under the law except start the whole case. But that wasn't his call. That was Merrick Garland. Not him. He got his marching orders. He clicked his heels. And he did it. It should never have happened. Let me back up on that. It could have happened if it was processed correctly. But since it was not, he was not appointed correctly, anything he did was wrong. You couldn't use it. So it was over. So the DOJ got out-lawyered. And I said this before, lawyers hate being out-lawyered. They just hate that.
You've always said that.
Yep. And that's what this is all about. This became a giant pissing contest. And all I know about a pissing contest is everyone's feet get wet. So I don't like pissing contests.
That was at Sesame Street in Iraq. Then you asked about the USAID. I call it you said, because you said I should spend the money on it. That's my running one with it. We're just going to call that you said. You said to do it, so I just did it.
Yeah, I mean, the USAID is just...
That was the one I was thinking, the Sesame Street in Iraq. As if they give a shit.
Thank God, I hate them all. I hate the government. The only thing I like is the Constitution. The only thing that protects us is the Constitution. And that's why I said you got to make sure.
Sorry.
I'm hearing things again.
I don't know how to use my phone. Try, guys.
That's why I said Biden had to be his feet held to the fire, and Trump has to have his feet held to the fire with it. The Constitution is our only guarantee. You lose the Constitution, you got nothing. So that's why, as a Federalist, I am like uber insane about this. Because it could free you, but if it's not there, you will be enslaved. And you might not think it, you might not feel it, you might not know it, but that Constitution, that's law of the land. And it should not be toyed with. And you could exercise it, you can examine it, and you could ask the robes for an opinion on it. And I'm fine with that. And the robes have gotten shit wrong before.
Oh, yeah.
And, reversed themselves out, 20 years later. But in that 20 years, what was it? 30 million babies have been aborted here. So, yeah. We've lost generations. And I'm not, for myself, I'm anti-abortion, for myself. But if the state allows it, no one's forcing you to have an abortion. So,
Correct.
But if the state allows it, that's it. Let the states decide. Don't let one government tell you everything. So, it's my lecture for today. And tomorrow, I wanted to talk about Marco Rubio, and the other thing that I was laughing about is where the president of El Salvador said he'd take our prisoners and stuff like that. Yeah, well,
that's. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I believe I believe it's Netflix who has a docuseries on the El Salvadorian prison.
Well, they have these super prisons there.
They are hardcore.
Yeah, there's no joke.
Yeah, like our system is like it's like being on vacation.
Really, I go into our prison system and ask for a bra, and they have to give it to me.
It's like a really bad Super 8. Yeah. But you're getting catered to.
Yeah. So what the suggestion was, and Trump never made the suggestion, Rubio never made the suggestion to them, but the president of El Salvador said, "Hey, you want to bring prisoners here? You pay me. I'll put them in prison." Now,
I don't.
You can't do that with American citizens.
No, but you know what?
You
He's
could
helping bring a solution to the table.
No, well, you could give him El Salvadorians that are in our prison.
I would hope that's
and
really what he would be doing.
Here you go.
Right. Take them back. Here you go.
Here you go.
They're actually yours, so here you go.
And we'll pay you to take them. We'll pay you the $1,000 a month for each one.
No. They should be paying us back for having to
No, because it's costing me $20,000 a month for them, so I'm saving $19,000 a month. Mm-hmm. And they're out of here. And how long do you think they're going to last there when they go, "Hey, my beans aren't good here"? What do you think's going to happen to them?
I'm not in agreement with taking Americans and moving them to
we can't. It's illegal. You can't do that. But you could take an American who was naturalized, who became a citizen from El Salvador, take their citizenship away from them, and send them back. Right. We have done that before. Look up the case of Lucky Luciano, and you'll see what I mean. Do a little research.
Luciano.
Always do your research and see what the government can do to a citizen, because you'll be surprised. Just like everyone said, forced servitude 13th Amendment. Forced servitude. I want you to read the 13th Amendment, folks. Do your homework tonight. And read it. You tell me what it means. And I'll tell you what the government has said it means. And you might get a different opinion.
I just found my MelaniaTrump.com stuff that I was talking about earlier. So, my lady listeners, if there are any viewers and listeners.
Yes.
Yes.
Hurry up. I got a football game to go to.
You have a choker. No, I'm sorry. I'm not.
My name is Barbara.
I'm really not sorry. Anyway, MelaniaTrump.com. Now, some of this stuff's a little outdated. What I'm hoping for now is that she will be updating this site and bringing in more merchandise and stuff for us to be able to purchase. So, just throwing out there, men, MelaniaTrump.com. Your ladies who love her, go there, check it out. There's some gifts that you possibly could buy, one being a very pretty necklace.
And men, she is selling her underwear. It's $24.95 in size.
I'm ordering it as we speak. What are you talking about? 25 pairs, please. Don't judge me. I feel your eyes looking at me. Don't you judge me. But she does have jewelry on there. And like I said, I'm hoping she will be updating that with more stuff. For people to be able to purchase. But
we have a beautiful necklace here. It's of Nancy Pelosi holding up like a jail sign.
Fine art. She does, I want to say.
I can't believe she has a website with
Spirit Publishing? So she already does. So she's got Melania's, her memoir. It is updated, but not as updated as I would like to see it. But they do. You can get her memoir, the standard memoir, for $40 right now on that, MelaniaTrump.com. You can get it signed by the author for $150.
Yeah, okay, the name of the book is I'm Not Shero.
So, and then the collector's edition, which is signed by the author, bonus photographs, includes digital collectible as well. And that is at $250. Just throwing out some ideas for some of you guys, Valentine's and Mother's Day is right around the corner. So for all the MAGA moms out there.
Cheaper than those sneakers.
Definitely better looking. It's just, a coffee conversation piece on the table. But she does have jewelry. And again, no ornament at this time. So hoping to see what ornament she does have.
Melania, we will prominently place your items in a front of our...
oh my gosh.
Yeah, we will place, product place. It's called product placement, folks. When you see a can of Pepsi or something, Pepsi paid the director of that film.
So there is some artwork on there as well for those that don't like jewelry or the books, but they do prefer art. There is art on there as well. So go check it out. Again, MelaniaTrump.com. And, in the coming months, I hope to see more merchandise
now, normally,
made available.
I'm just making this. I have creative content rights over here. Obviously, no one ran this through me first to come out and just start shooting out, shooting out,
Why? I am supporting it. Why?
Because I'm a news with a view, not a news.
That is news. MelaniaTrump.com. That is news.
We're not hawking anything here. And if we're hawking anything, it's going to be my stuff.
No. Yes, I'm sorry. That is news. That's news.
No, it's called advertisement, honey, and you know damn well you're in the business.
Just saying. Gentlemen,
that's a plug.
Valentine's and Mother's Day is right around the corner.
That's an unsolicited plug. This is neither an endorsement or a paid endorsement. This is not a paid endorsement.
And who used to do that very, very well?
Who?
Who was a talk show host who would start talking about the product, right? Just all of a sudden be talking about whatever, news topic or whatever they were talking about, and then he would rolls right into an advertisement. Well, one no longer here. I'll give you a little hint. He was one of your favorites to listen to on our trips across country.
Well, Rush Limbaugh, but
Yeah.
Rush Limbaugh had his EIB network.
But I'm saying, and the next is Levin.
Yeah, Mark Levin.
So whatever. I don't know.
But
I've learned from the best.
yeah. I'm not going to say I'm a Rush Limbaugh here. I might be as heavy as he was, but
Whatever.
might be dying of lung cancer. But
Yeah, well,
gotta go something, folks. No one gets out alive.
Well,
No.
I know. I think that was really it. I mean.
I think we're going to call this a night.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to catch that good humor or that Mr. Softy on his return out of my neighborhood, because people get lost in here and you just keep seeing cars go back and you go you're looking for the exit.
As good as a chance as being able to see that, the rocket launch last night, which I was a sucker outside trying to see it.
There was a rocket launch last night?
Yeah.
Of what? SpaceX or?
Not space. It's a different name, but But yes, it's part of SpaceX. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, out of Florida. I think it launched at.
Was it the
6:13.
Blue Horizon, whatever it was? Zebos's piece of crap that looks like a spaceship out of 1954.
Yeah. Oh, you're very bitter on that.
So who was?
SpaceX Falcon 9.
Oh, that's a Falcon 9. That's our.
But yes,
That's
was,
Elon Musk.
Yeah. So that
He has all the USAID workers on it.
You said.
Off you go. Here's your new job.
All right. I think that wraps it up.
All right. Appreciate it. As always, say a prayer. A lot of people need prayers. Give to a charity. Ensure it's a registered charity. Charity will not come to you. You must go to the charity. Do not become a victim helping a victim. Spay and neuter your pets.
Yes. Don't forget to spay and neuter your pets.
And this will be episode 29. It's going to go up tomorrow. I probably will do something because it will be Thirsty Thursday, and it will be crazy. We are going to put a segment in one of our live shows of mixology. That's what I'm going to call it, mixology.
Also, stay vigilant. It is tax return season and tax filing, so please be aware to not take phone calls and give out your personal information, identification. So remind everyone, be vigilant.
But that good prince from Nigeria said he'd do my taxes for me.
I know, yeah.
He said he'd do my taxes for me.
Oh, gosh.
All right. And with that, I'm going to say good night, God bless, and as we fade to black, John A. Costa, Alice Incognito, fading to black.